Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Tech, and I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. Is it worth your time? On trial today, Valheim, Early Access. Made by 5 people at Iron Gate Studios, this is an open-world survival game with a Viking theme and is currently in Early Access. Now I know, open-world survival game, Early Access, these are typically 2 huge red flags. But hear me out on this one. Long ago, the Allfather Odin united the worlds. He threw down his foes and cast them into the 10th world, then split the boughs that held their prison to the world tree and left it to drift unanchored, a place of exile. For centuries, this world slumbered uneasily, but it did not die. As glacial ages passed, kingdoms rose and fell out of the sight of the gods. When Odin heard his enemies were growing once again in strength, he looked to Midgard and sent his Valkyries to scour the battlefields for the greatest of their warriors. Dead to the world, they would be born again in Valheim. And that's the premise of your story. You won't get a whole lot more than this. You will find some rune stones around the world that'll give you other little tidbits, but this is the main part of the story that you're running with. This minimalistic story works very well, and it helps play into the open world aspect of the game. You know who you are, why you're here, and what you have to do. So from there, you're thrown straight into gameplay. Most of the gameplay I'll be showing is about the first hour or so of the game. This is a game that is meant to be discovered, to be experienced, and I don't want to take that away from any future players. So I'll be sure to make this as spoiler-free as possible. Valheim finds the perfect balance between exploration, survival, combat, and base building. Each one of these feel fun in their own right, and there's little tedium involved. Even the farming is balanced in such a way that the reward given is more than enough of an incentive to actually go and do it. And everything you do feels meaningful, and all of this just helps you progress towards your main goal of killing the 5 bosses. As you travel, you'll visit many different biomes, each with their own unique flora and fauna, each with their own new dangers, and each with discoveries to be made. You'll become acutely aware of your HP, because if it hits 0, you respawn at the last rest point with none of your gear, and you have to go recover it. Now, Valheim doesn't dip as heavily into the survival side as other games. You aren't managing health, hunger, water, wounds, etc. Your main worries are HP and stamina, both of which are increased from eating food. So to survive, you'll need to forage for meat and berries, and if you don't, you'll only have 25 HP and next to no stamina. The other survival aspect is building a base and defending it. The base's main purpose is to house your stuff and to allow you to upgrade your weapons and tools, which in turn allows you to progress in the game. The combat is a basic dodge, block, parry, attack system, all based off of your stamina. It isn't anything new, but it is solid and well implemented here, so much so it's actually quite enjoyable. There's also a skill system. By doing certain activities, you level up those skills. This is the only part of the game I wasn't completely sold on. I understand the desire to allow the player to level up a skill and feel like they're progressing, but it also de-incentivizes trying out other weapons once you get too deep into one. You've probably noticed, and if you zoom in you'll really notice, everything is very pixelated. But instead of focusing on those tiny pixels, if you zoom out and look at the larger picture, you'll see the beauty. Each biome has its own look, its own feel, its own weather effects. The wind blows and the trees rustle, the grass sways with the breeze, the sun peeks through the leaves on the trees, even the sky itself is a sight to behold. The game is just stunning, and it's rather surprising because when you zoom in and take a real close look, it's a little ugly. But everything comes together to give you some breathtaking moments. The music is simple and impactful. It changes when needed and is unique in each of the areas. And then later on as you progress, when you start to cross large bodies of water, the music is just perfect. I will say I do have one big complaint. Deers don't make that noise. It needs to be fixed. So, is it worth your time? Absolutely. I've clocked in about 150 hours and I'll probably give it another 150. I've played mostly multiplayer on a server with a couple of friends and we have had a ton of fun. We made a rule that no one's allowed to look up anything about the game, and I believe this has enhanced our experience. We don't know what's coming, what to plan for, everything's new and exciting, and we're just enjoying the experience and the exploration. Now, this is not to say you can't play solo. The game works perfectly well either way. This game just checks all the boxes, and the fact it's early access just blows my mind. It blows away many AAA games made by big fancy studios, and it was done by a team of 5 people. Looking at their future planned updates, I love where the game is heading, and I am honestly really excited to come back and play it in maybe a couple of months when the game's finished. Or years, or whenever. Just coming back to play this game again when it's fully finished would be an incredible experience. So yeah, it's amazing. Go buy it. Stop listening to me. It's $20 in early access right now. Just go get it. My name's been StrifeTech, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, by all means, feel free to click that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time on Is It Worth Your Time?